Hello everyone, today we'll be practicing a soft fabric burn. What I'll be using is a flat shader, and a more pointed line shader, a scrap piece of wood, sandpaper to clean off the tips, this is 800 grit, graphite paper to trace on the picture. What I use to clean up any mess is a little X-Acto blade or 220 grit paper to sand off any mistakes or clean up lines, and my Colwood Detailer, which I attach the replaceable tips to. Let's get started. So I always start off with sanding my wood first, usually with just 220 grit sandpaper to make sure it's smooth. This helps the tip glide on the wood better because you don't want pressure and you don't want it to get caught on any of the parts of the wood. Then I'll take my tracing paper and trace out the design. I always sketch out on a piece of paper first, and using graphite paper or tracing paper, I've found that I can't erase very well, so I don't even bother try erasing. I just sand it off with 220 grit until it's barely visible. That way I can just burn over the existing lines and you can't see it. Any lines that are left over, I will just sand off or scrape off with my X-Acto blade. I think one thing that's hard to portray in time lapses is how long a smooth burn actually takes. So I added the watch here. One, it helps me keep in frame, but also just to show how long these burns actually take. One thing that I did catch myself with is I started off really light burning. This tip required more heat than my other tips, so I was burning at around 6 on my Colwood Detailer, but I was hesitant to go higher earlier in the burn, which I should have done because it took so long, because I was trying to be careful to make it as smooth as possible to see if I could actually pull off the soft fabric look of this cushion. The main thing here is to keep it as even as possible a burn. So I couldn't do my swirly motions that I normally do. It was more of a back and forth in the direction of the wood grain to make it as smooth as possible. And still a little bit blotchy compared to the image, but I mean, that's why we practice, right? One thing I want to point out, you want to be able to rotate your picture, even if it's a large one, or figure out how to be able to rotate it, maybe on a spinning Lazy Susan I've seen. But it's really important to be able to move your picture to burn properly instead of contorting your hand. You are using a very hot tool, and if you're not hitting the right spot on the tip when you burn, it won't give you the result that you're looking for. So being able to rotate the piece is very important. You'll see the watch jump in time because I finished the rest on the next day. But it did take a few hours trying to burn this carefully. Once you get the hang of it, you'll burn faster, so the next time you do something similar with a similar texture or pattern, it won't take you as long. I have a list of patterns I haven't done before that I'm trying to practice so that I can start implementing these in some of the pictures that I am working on. Though I'm not planning on doing anything with a fabric pattern, but I wanted to see how smooth I could get it The next one I'll be working on is water droplets. I haven't done that one before, so it'll definitely be some good practice, and I'll see you in the next video.